Tori, the Crafty Girl here, and today I'm going to show you how to make this super easy and adorable cami, specifically how to do ribbing like this on the knitting machine. Yes, ignore this little thing right here. That's an easy fix. It's just where the yarn was stretched out. But anyway, I made this cami. It did take me a little bit because it was my prototype, but I'm gonna show you two ways to create ribbing. You can create ribbing at the beginning of a project or at the end of a project. So I'll show you two different ways, and this can become really effective if, let's say, you're halfway through knitting a panel and you decide, oh, maybe I wanna add, ribbing. Well, you can do it at the end or you can do it at the beginning. So this particular cami right here, I made to fit my my torso. So the measurements I'm going to give you, really just adjust it for you. You can do this with 4 panels, you can do this with 3. I did it with 2 because of my sizing. It worked out. And then I also added a little bit of crochet finish to the top. This is just single crochet, 2 rows of single crochet here. And then these straps, I did actually sew them into the garment, and I'm probably going to replace them with something else. But let me show you the rest. So here's how the back turned out. And this is a little bit different knitting. So I was playing around with different patterns, which you can do. So let's go ahead and dive in, and I will show you how to create this cami, but more specifically, how to do ribbing on your knitting machine. And if you like this type of content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for additional content. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can do that as well by just sharing the video with others, commenting down below, or clicking that little button down below and giving a small little monetary thanks would be awesome. It does take time and energy to make videos like this, and I love making videos that you ask for. So without further ado, let's dive right in. For this project, I'll be using one of my favorite yarns, this Caron Simply Soft. This is Gray Heather. It's washable and it feels really good against the skin. I'm also using a Centro 48 to make 2 panels, but you can use whichever machine you have. Also adjust for your sizing. I did 64 rows on each of the panels. That fits about an extra small to small. It's about 13 inches total without being stretched. Added the ribbing on the machine, did mattress stitching on the side, and then some single crochet on the top and bottom, and then added a simple strap. To create ribbing at the beginning of your project, I first recommend starting with at least 5 rows of waste yarn. Then you'll want to determine the width of the ribbing that you want on your project. For me, I like to do 10 rows. That gives me a nice thick ribbing, but you can adjust that depending if you want more ribbing or less ribbing. Next, you'll want to determine your pattern. The pattern is how you want that ribbing to appear. So you can play around with this. You can do every other stitch. Since I'm using a Centro 48, I actually have 45 pins that I can work with on panel setting. So for me, I kind of just played around with it, and I started doing every third pin, and then I kind of adjusted as I went. But you can do this whatever you want. You can do like every second and then every fourth, but really play around with different patterns and see. If you do 2 right next to each other, it doesn't have the same impact. So I would say for my project in particular, I did every third, and then I messed up on one, so one had every fourth, but it was about that, and it turned out the way that I wanted it to. Now, to create the ribbing with a panel, it really depends on which direction you are going. So you'll see my work is actually shifting to the left. So you want to get the pin that you want to drop the stitches for and create the ribbing. You want that, in this case, to the right of the yarn guide. And that's so that you can actually pull that loop off and then drop those stitches here. Now, I know dropping stitches can be a little scary, so hold on to the yarn with your other hand until you get to that bottom loop. Do not let that bottom loop go though, because if you do, the whole piece will come unraveled. That's why waste yarn is so important. Then you're going to take your crochet hook, and I just use my handy 5mm. It's my favorite. I use it, and we are going to be doing a slip stitch. So we're picking up that one piece of yarn and just pulling it under. Now this may look familiar to you. If you do anything with fixing drop stitch, we just do it the other way, which does not create ribbing, which actually blends in with your project. So you're going to go through, pick up every loop, make sure they're in order, and then pull through the previous loop, Again, just doing a slip stitch. And then when you get back to the bottom loop, you're just gonna pull it back over the hook and then continue knitting. Do make sure that it ends up under those two bumpers. You'll see where my finger is right now. Just make sure that it ends up under those bumpers as you knit, so that you don't have any tucked or drop stitches. Then you're just going to continue doing this process with the drop stitch and the slip stitch all the way around your project until you get to the end. Again, release all the stitches, grab your crochet hook, and then you're going to put the crochet hook in the bottom loop, pick up all of those bars in order, and then pull the loop back onto the hook or back onto the pin. After you finish with the last pin, continue knitting like you typically would. In this case, I ended up measuring and doing 64 rows, and you just do this as a standard knit. Then to cast off, you're just going to use your waste yarn and knit about 5 rows as it were, and then continue casting off until it just falls off of the machine. To add ribbing at the end of your project, you'll want to stop knitting before you actually get to the number of rows you want, and then using a stitch marker or something similar, you'll want to mark your pattern. The stitch marker is really important because it's going to hold that loop so that when you drop the stitch, you won't go too far. For example, in our case, we need to make sure that we have 10 rows that we're going to knit after we mark each of these markers, and that's going to be the width of our ribbing. Then continue knitting till you get to the end of the project length that you're looking for. Now this next step is going to vary depending on, since we're using a panel, whether you're working from left to right or right to left. You'll notice my work shifted left, so I'm looking for the loop to the right of the yarn guide. Once I find that loop, I'm going to take it off of the loop and I'm going to release all those stitches, dropping the stitches as it were. Then I'm going to take my crochet hook and pick up the loop from the stitch marker and then take that off. Then you're going to just crochet all the way down to the loop, and it's essentially a slip stitch all the way back down to the end, and then put the loop back on the pin. Then when you get to the next one, you'll do the exact same process. So you'll take the loop off of the pin, you'll release all of those stitches, take your crochet hook and pick up the loop from the stitch marker, then do a slip stitch all the way down back to that final bar, and then pull that loop over the pin. And you'll do that all the way around until all of your marked stitches have been complete. The last step is to cast off with waste yarn. Again, I use about 5 rows of waste yarn and then just crank until the panel falls off of your machine. To finish your camisole and put it all together, you're going to use a mattress stitch to attach both pieces or both panels together on the sides. Now, if you're not familiar with a mattress stitch, I'll actually link that below in the description as well as up here on the screen. It is going to make a world of difference for this project. If you're not comfortable with mattress stitching, you could also do a crochet stitch to put it together. Or if you want to go even simpler, you could just take a piece of yarn and needle and just do a plain stitch around. Whatever works for you, you just want to connect those two panels together at the side. To finish the top and bottom of the project, I actually ended up doing a single crochet for both and then removing the waste yarn. Now for the top of the project, I wanted to kind of straighten out that rolled hem. One little tip, you can steam it, you can do some blocking on it, and that tends to help a lot, but I wanted to add a little more detail since the bottom has that really great ribbing detail. I didn't need to add any more crochet to the bottom because we have ribbing, but for the top here, what I'm doing is I'm going back around and doing a second row of single crochets, and I'm doing it the same direction that I did it the first time. And what that does is it gives me this really nice finish, and it also helps prevent that rolling that we see. So the final touch is to cut and tuck all of your loose threads, as well as to add straps. You can even leave the straps off if you want it to be a tube top. And here is how she turned out. So again, the ribbing will vary depending on how often and or how frequently you actually drop the stitches and create the ribbing. If you get a tuck stitch, so in this case I just with this one. I even saw it when I went through the video. I just missed this bar when I was doing the actual ribbing piece of it, and guess what? It's not a big deal. I can actually come back through and do a little stitch there and it's not noticeable, but I'll tell you on, it's really not that noticeable anyway. The sides, just to show you with that mattress stitch. Up here is a little funky, but if you go down, you can't even tell where it was joined. So that's what it should look like on the sides. And then in the back, again, just showing you, this is the two rows of crochet that I did at the top. It gives it kind of a chain look, which I am a little obsessed with. And then down here, I did a different pattern. Yes, I have a different pattern on the front and back, but that's, again, this was experimentation. And so this is what the ribbing looks like back here. So that is it, everybody. Hopefully you did like this content. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know what your next project you want me to try is. And until next time, see ya!